Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Good evening, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, everything is visible. Okay. So, okay, I think we should start the class. Okay, because it's already 7:33. Okay, let's wait for another 2 minutes. And after that 2 minutes, we will start the class. Let's wait for another 2 minutes for the others to join. Okay. Okay, let's start the class. I'm going to share my screen. You please tell me from where we left. Okay, you please tell me, is the screen visible to you? Just
Yes, ma'am.
wait, just wait. It's visible, right? It's
Yes, ma'am.
visible?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So till what we have completed? Till what we have completed? Please tell me. We
Ma'am,
completed code
erythroblastosis fetalis.
erythroblastosis fetalis, which will be related to the blood grouping, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So did I tell you about the codominance? I told you about codominance, right? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I also told you about the this
Yes,
group.
ma'am.
The groups I have already told you what are the possible phenotype, what is the possible genotype, right? Am I correct? Did I say? Did I say about it?
Yes, ma'am.
This one, blood grouping, I have told you. Okay. Did I tell you about the okay. Did I tell you about the Bombay blood group?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I told you about the Bombay blood group. So overall, the blood group is complete, and overall, the this one Rh factor, which is related to a disease, which is related to the blood grouping, and also we have talked about erythroblastosis fetalis, which is a disease which is linked with the Rh factor, associated with the Rh factor. Okay, so we are moving forward to the Mendel's second law, that is the law of independent assortment. What was the first law of Mendel? What was the first law of Mendel? Mendel's law of what?
Segregation.
Segregation.
Segregation. Segregation is the first law. Second law is the law of independent assortment. So let's see what is this law. It states that the factors for different pairs of contrasting character in a hybrid, it is assorted or it is distributed independently during the gamete formation. So Mendel's second law can be explained with the help of dihybrid cross. You know about dihybrid cross. It is a cross between the two parents which differs in pairs of contrasting characters. Okay, I have already told you. So, in case of what this Mendel's law of independent assortment says, Okay, so Mendel's law of independent assortment says that whenever there are the factors, okay, for the different pairs of contrasting character, that is, you see, round is one character. Capital R is a character which is a factor which is responsible for the round color. This is a one character, whereas capital Y is responsible for another character, that is the yellow color. Okay, round shaped and yellow color, cotyledon. So these two characters, okay, when we do the dihybrid cross, we say that it's not like that the round and yellow will be always together. Round and wrinkle can be together, yellow or green can be also together. So let me show it by using my white page. Just a minute, just a minute. Okay, I'm showing it. Okay, so okay, you see, you see here, you see, we have taken two character. One is capital R, and capital Y. Both are dominant character, round seed and yellow color cotyledon. Okay, and wrinkle seed and the green cotyledon. So as we take two different character, so we will call it as to be a dihybrid cross, because we have taken two character, one character and another character. That is the round seed, yellow color, wrinkle seed, green color. So these are the two different character. So when these two different characters are taken, that is known as the dihybrid cross. Okay. So these are the parent. These are the parent. All right. Now, what are the gametes we will obtain? Either both capital R, capital Y, or capital R, capital Y, right? Here, small r, small y, and also small r, small y. Okay. So I am showing this will be your gametes. So I am showing only one. Okay. Only one I am showing. Both are same. Both are same. So it will be capital R, capital Y, small y. So what will be its character in the F1 generation? What will be its character? Can anyone tell me? What will be its character, phenotypes? What will be the phenotype? Yes, this will be round and yellow, because these are two dominant ones. Okay. Okay, so when we do the Punnett square, what we found in case of Punnett square, I told you about easy trick. Did I tell you the easy trick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the easy trick: small r, small r, small r, small r, small r, small r. Then capital Y, capital Y, capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y. Sorry, small y, capital Y, capital Y, capital Y, small y, small y, small y, capital Y, capital Y, capital Y, small y, small y, small y. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. So this is the ratio. Now you say this will be round yellow, right? This will be also round yellow. This will be what? Round green. Sorry, round green, right? This will be also round yellow. This will be also round yellow. This will be again round green. Then this will be wrinkled yellow. This will be wrinkled yellow, and this will be wrinkled green. Okay. What the independent assortment says. Just give concentration to my words. What I'm trying to say, you see. Round and yellow, these are present together. Wrinkled and green, these are present together. But when the dihybrid cross has been made, it has been seen that the round color can also combines with the green one, and the yellow color can also combines with the wrinkle one. This is not fixed that the round will always go with the yellow, green will always go with the wrinkle. No, this is not fixed. It means that each of the character is independently assorted. It doesn't depend on its partner. It is independently assorted. Assorted means separated. Okay. So it's not like that Animesh and Tuhin, they are friends and they move together, and Dibjuti and Athaiba are friends, they are moving together. Okay. But it's not like that Animesh and Tuhin will go always together and Dibjuti and Athaiba will always go together. No, Tuhin is independent. Tuhin can also go with Athaiba. Okay. Or our Animesh can also go with Dibjuti. Okay, so these is known as independent assortment. They will not stay together and they will independently assorted, independently separated, and they can be inherited as a different character also. So this is known as law of independent assortment. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, if you understood, then that's great. Again, let me share my screen. Okay, so we are done with that, this one. Always remember, in case of the dihybrid test cross, okay, if we do the dihybrid test cross, F1 hybrid is crossed with the recessive green wrinkle P parents. In case of independent assortment, it is found to be 1:1:1:1. Okay, Mendel published on 1865, but it remained unrecognized until 1900. The what are the reasons for it? It is reason are that due to the lack of communication. Okay, due to the concept of the genes and the factors, these are also not clear, and the mathematical approach for biology was not that accepted, and not a proof for existence of any factors. Okay, actually Mendel did experiment on the basis of biostatistics. Okay, that is using the maths on biology. And before, the people were like that, they are, they are not that people that they mainly वो कैसे था वो लोग mainly they depends on, or they have faith on God, and they only know Bible, they only know about God, Jesus Christ, and that's it. Okay, completely it's all everything is based on religion. Okay, so they are not interested to study the maths, and that too maths on biology. So it is not accepted because most of the people, they do not understand also. So this was not accepted, and actually this was not popularized because of that, because that time anything if you write about Jesus Christ, then it would be famous. Okay, because that time there was a religious dominance was there, now also. But the people of today's world is now, they are more advanced than that of those people who are our forefathers. So therefore they were not that interested, so it was not popularized and also not accepted, and there is no proof for existence of the factors. Okay, that the gene exists, there is no proof. Okay, so this is the thing. So in case of, you see in the above slide, you see in case of the dihybrid test cross, if we do the test cross of the dihybrid cross is different, dihybrid test cross is different. Dihybrid, in case of dihybrid cross, phenotypic ratio will be 9:3:3:1. Genotypic ratio will be all these 1:2:2:1:2:4:2:1:1. So we used to write now 1:1, 2:4:1:1. So these all are, if you put it in the ratio, all will be genotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. But if you go for test cross of the dihybrid, means if you are crossing like a capital R small r, capital Y small y into capital R small r, capital Y small small r small y, then you will get what? The dihybrid test cross, and it will have a phenotypic ratio is 1:1:1:1. If you cross the F1 individual of a dihybrid cross, if you cross the F1 individual with the double recessive parent, you will get the phenotypic ratio 1:1:1:1. So this is about the dihybrid test cross. Okay, this is the ratio. It may ask in your exam also, MCQ, that what is the dihybrid test cross ratio. Then it should be, immediately you have to answer it. It is 1:1:1:1. You can do it by your own. Next, let's proceed to the another theory, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Now, what is chromosomal theory of inheritance? Always remember that this was proposed by Sutton and Boveri. Sutton and Boveri were the two scientists who proposed this theory of inheritance, that is the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, so they worked out that the chromosome movement during the meiosis, they find how the chromosomes move during the time of prophase, during the time of crossing over. Okay, so they studied during the meiosis how the chromosome moves. Sutton and Boveri, the movement behavior of the chromosome was parallel to the behavior of the gene. Okay, and the chromosome movement is used to explain the Mendel's law too. The knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principle is known as chromosomal theory of inheritance. And according to this, these 3 points are important. According to the chromosomal theory of inheritance, chromosomes and genes are present in pairs in the diploid cell. This is the first hypothesis. I mean, what they have proposed. Okay, first one is the chromosomes and the genes are present in pairs and they are present in the diploid cells. Okay, first one. Second is that the homologous chromosome usually separate during the time of gamete formation. Okay, during the time of gamete formation, they get separated. That is the law of segregation, which is similar to that of what Mendel said. Then fertilization restores the chromosome number to the diploid condition. Means by the process of fertilization, we can get a diploid cell from two haploid cells. So this was given by Sutton and Boveri in their theory, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Very important from your exam point of view. This question is very important. Who gave chromosomal theory of inheritance? Sutton and Boveri. No need to remember the full name. If you can, you can. There is no prevention of it. But if you cannot, then just remember like Sutton and Boveri. No need to remember like Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. No need. Okay, just only simple Sutton and Boveri. Okay, ठीक है. Next you see that what are the postulates. The postulates are important. Postulates में क्या बोला गया है कि जो genes है और the genes क्या है, genes तो chromosomes के part ही है, ठीक है. तो chromosomes and genes, these are present in pairs in the diploid cells. Okay, we know that they are present in pairs. Okay, and whatever we know, it has been come from that. These are only the postulates of chromosomal theory of inheritance, that chromosomes and the genes are present in pairs in the diploid cell. Next, homologous chromosomes usually separate during the time of gamete formation. During the time of gamete formation, the homologous chromosomes, they get separated. Okay, and number three, fertilization restores the chromosomal number of the diploid conditions. Okay, understood these 3 points? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's very easy. Let's move to the another. That is Thomas Hunt Morgan. He is a scientist who gave a lot of concept of biology. Okay, he did experiment, whatever he has done. Okay, whatever he has done, everything based on the experiment on Drosophila or the fruit flies. Drosophila, you all know, I think, what is fruit fly? You know or not? You know what is? No, you don't know.
Ma'am.
Put a banana outside today only, okay? Or put any fruit. There will be flies, black color flies, small. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the fruit fly. That's Drosophila. Okay, so on that small fly, he did experiment. Okay, Thomas Hunt Morgan and his colleagues conducted experimental verification of chromosomal theory of inheritance. Whatever Sutton and Boveri gave, जो उन लोगों ने दिया था क्रोमोसोमल थ्योरी ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस के बारे में, जो भी पोस्टुलेट्स दिया था, उसको फिर से वेरीफाई किसने किया? मॉर्गन ने किया. TH मॉर्गन. Always remember the name, Thomas Hunt Morgan. Okay, तो उन्होंने ही ये मतलब on the experiment he conducted based on the experiment conducted on Drosophila, that is the fruit fly, उन्होंने experimentally verify किया chromosomal theory of inheritance को. ओके जैसे हम लोग रीइवैल्यूएट करते हैं, उन लोगों ने फिर से रीइवैल्यूएट किया, फिर से वेरीफाई किया क्रोमोसोमल थ्योरी ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस को. किसने किया था? मॉर्गन ने किया था. ठीक है, मॉर्गन ने जितने भी एक्सपेरिमेंट किया सब में मॉर्गन ने सिर्फ मतलब ड्रोसोफिला को ही लिया, उसको ही प्रेफरेंस दिया. ओके सो मॉर्गन वर्कड विद fruit flies and its full form is Drosophila melanogesters. Drosophila melanogesters. Okay, what is the number of chromosomes is present in Drosophila melanogester? Can anyone tell me? In your chapter of class 11 living world, the first chapter of biology, it's mentioned. You go and check what is the number of chromosome. Okay, next important question. Why Morgan selected Drosophila? Because we know that Mendel selected pea plant for his experiment. Okay, but there are reasons he has given already. But why Morgan selected Drosophila? Morgan selected Drosophila and he gave explanation about human regarding the chromosomes. How can it be possible? Because he selected Drosophila because it is suitable for genetic studies, number one. Second, it can be grown on a very simple synthetic medium in the laboratory. Even you can grow it at your home also. You can culture Drosophila. Then they complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, it can be possible, okay, the Drosophila completes life cycle. Always remember one thing, that when the scientists selected something, okay, when the scientists selected some organism or some plants for their experiment, why they selected the same? Because it must have the short life cycle. Because you see कि मैंने suppose मैं कितने साल जीऊंगी, मैं another suppose और 20-30 years मैं जी सकती हूँ. Okay, suppose 20-30, हाँ more than that भी जी सकती हूँ, पता नहीं. Anyways, so वो जो साल है, because वो उस within 30 years मुझे अगर कुछ थ्योरी देना है, तो एक ऑर्गेनिज्म के बेसिस पे अगर मुझे कुछ थ्योरी बनाना है, थ्योरी पोस्टुलेट्स करना है, तो उस ऑर्गेनिज्म का सिर्फ एक जनरेशन देखने से होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. आई हैव टू चेक एटलीस्ट 4-5 generations, at least 4-5 generation of the same plant or organism. तो अगर मेरे जीवन काल में अगर मुझे 4-5 generations देखना ही है, after gaining knowledge on biology, that is another chapter. I have to become mature. I have to know what is this, what is that. Okay, so then only I can go on experimentations. Okay, so for that experimentation, at least if I need to study 4-5 generations of an organism, I need something which has short life cycle, not someone with long life cycle. If I select some organisms जो 20 साल जी सकते हैं, तो मैं तो सिर्फ 1 साल और 1.5 साल और 2 साल ही मतलब मैं उस ऑर्गेनिज्म को स्टडी कर सकती हूँ, ज्यादा तो नहीं कर पाऊंगी. तो इसलिए ऐसा ऑर्गेनिज्म चाहिए जिसका life cycle short ho, so that we can study 4-5 generations of the same organism or the same plant. Okay, therefore Drosophila complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks. So within the 2 weeks they completed. So first generation complete, we can study the second generation. Morgan studied second generation, then third generation. We can study easily. Okay, so from which we can be able to give many different postulates, many different concept about genetics. Okay, next you see a single mating could produce a large number of progeny flies. That is also important. We need many when we are going for an experiment, okay, we need to study more and more. We cannot limited our study to only one organism or only two organisms. We have to study a lot. We have to study all the progenies, what is the differences. Okay, so this organism is used to produce a large number of progeny flies. Okay, ठीक है. उसके बाद देखो कि यहाँ पे clear differentiation of male and female flies can be done, because there are certain organisms जिसमें हम लोग clearly हम लोग differentiate नहीं कर सकते हैं male and female flies को, ठीक है, पर यहाँ पे हम लोग male and female flies को clearly differentiate कर सकते हैं in case of Drosophila, because sex determination, we will study sex determination in our from the next slide. Sex determination is easy and it is same like that of our human, XX and XY, XX for female, XY for male, but there is a difference, a minor difference I will discuss later on. But sex differentiation is we can differentiate between male and female flies easily. Okay, so you can see from the pictures also, you can differentiate the male and the female easily. The male is quite bigger, female is quite shorter. Okay, and in you see the thorax portion of the male, and you see the thorax portion, or sorry, abdominal portion, the lower abdominal portion in case of males, and in case of female, in case of male it is pointed, in case of female it is blunt. Okay, so there are certain differences which you can see in case of Drosophila. Okay, next you see that many types of heredity variations can be seen with low power microscope. So a lot of variation regarding the eye color, regarding the body color, okay, it can be seen even by using the low power microscopes. Okay, some Drosophila is having black color eye, some having red color eye, some having yellow color eye. So we will discuss. Okay, and there is also a in your exam a cross may come. Okay, dihybrid cross, some cross may be given regarding the eye color of Drosophila. Okay, so eye Drosophila is having a different types of eye color. बहुत सारे उन लोगों के eye colors रहते हैं, और ये जो heredity variations है हम लोग उसको भी low power microscope, low power जो है वो microscope use करके हम लोग कर सकते हैं. Till now, do you understand? Is there any problem?
No, ma'am.
Everything is visible, na? No network issue?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Hopefully there will be no network issue in future also. Okay. Next, let's talk about sex differentiation, sex determination. It is a very important topic. Again, I'm telling, sex determination. A lot of information, a lot of new things you are going to get in this from this topic, that is sex determination. Okay, you see, Hanking in the year of 1891, he traced specific nuclear structure during spermatogenesis of some insects. Okay, of some insects, 50% of the sperm received this specific structure, whereas 50% sperm did not receive it. He gave name to this structure as the X body, and later on it has been termed as X chromosomes. We all know that we have what? Two different types of, in case of males, we have two different types of cells. One is, chromosome, one is X, one is Y. But Hanking didn't term it X chromosomes. Okay, he called it X body. X means we in maths also, if you suppose हमको कुछ नहीं आता है, कुछ मतलब फाइंड करने के लिए बोला है, तो हम लोग क्या लिखते हैं कि let the answer is, let that B is X. Okay, तो उसको X लेके ही हम चलते हैं. तो हैंकिंग को भी पता नहीं ये क्या है, पर उसको ये बात पता चला कि जो स्पर्म्स है 50% स्पर्म्स में वो फैक्टर है और 50% में नहीं है. उसने उस फैक्टर को एक्स फैक्टर बोल दिया. ठीक है, इसलिए उसको बाद में एक्स क्रोमोसोम बोला है, क्योंकि देखो एक सेल्स में क्या 50% स्पर्म्स कैरी एक्स क्रोमोसोम, 50% स्पर्म्स कैरी वाई क्रोमोसोम. So there is no X chromosomes. So he said that 50% received the X factor, another 50% did not receive the X factor. So later it has been termed to be X chromosome. All right, understood till
Yes, ma'am.
now? Okay, so now we will study XX and XO type. Okay, after the history of sex determination, let's move to XX and XO type. So XX and XO type. Acha, before I start it, let me tell you that from sex determination, what type of question may come from XX and XO. Okay, generally the questions will be match the following or match the column will be given, and वहां पे क्या देगा कि XX XO डाल देगा, उसको पूछेगा कि ये मतलब किसके किसके साथ मैच करता है, मतलब एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे पूछते हैं, ठीक है। तो वो तो हमेशा ध्यान में रखना कि XX एंड XO टाइप किस में रहते हैं, किस ऑर्गेनिज्म में रहते हैं, ग्रास हॉपर में रहते हैं, ठीक है। अभी देखो, ग्रास हॉपर कॉन्टेन्स 12 pairs means 24 chromosomes, and the male has only 23 chromosomes. Why? All the eggs bear one X chromosome along with autosomes, and the some sperms 50% bears one X chromosome and 50% do not bear X chromosome. Therefore, XX and XO. In XX is the female and XO is the male. You see here, egg fertilized with the sperm having X chromosome became female, that is 22 plus XX. So XX जो है, जो females है वो तो हमेशा X chromosomes ही देते, पर in the sperms, in case of the sperms, तो 50% में X रहेगा और 50% में 0 रहते, कुछ भी नहीं रहते, ठीक है। XO means 0, ओके, X0 भी बोलते, XO भी बोल सकते हो, तो इसमें कुछ भी नहीं होता है। तो जो स्पर्म्स में X क्रोमोसोम रहता है और फीमेल से और X क्रोमोसोम मिल गया, तो वो दोनों मिलके XX बन गया, ठीक है। तो एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच वी विल गेट फीमेल, ओके। Whereas if the egg fertilized with the sperm without X chromosome, and there is no Y also, nothing is there, okay, and there is no X chromosome, they become male, that is 22 plus XO. XO is the male, XX is the female, remember, okay, till now clear? XX XO,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Manisha, network fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next you see XX and XY. So देखो, ये जो XX and XY है, ये मैमल्स पे तो मिलते हैं, इंसेक्ट्स पे भी मिलते हैं। मैमल्स के लिए आई डोंट थिंक सो आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस विथ यू, because you know that the both male and female has the same number of chromosome, and the female means autosome plus 2X and male means autosome plus X and Y. You know that very well. Okay, no need to discuss about you regarding this. But you have to know, in case of, okay, you this term you need to know that in this type जो मेल होते हैं उसको हेटेरोगैमी बोलते हैं और हेटेरोगैमिटी बोलते हैं, एंड फीमेल को होमोगैमिटी बोलते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि फीमेल में 2X सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ मिलते हैं, बट मेल्स में डिफरेंट मिलते हैं, वन X, one is Y, so heterogametes। and फीमेल्स में दोनों ही सेल्स में फीमेल जो भी ओवम देगा उसमें हमेशा क्या रहेगा, जो भी एग्स हमको फीमेल से मिलेगा सब में एक्स क्रोमोसोम ही रहेगा। बट इन केस ऑफ मेल्स जो स्पर्म्स देगा, किसी में एक्स किसी में वाई, सो हेटेरोगैमेट। इन केस ऑफ फीमेल इट इज होमोगैमेट। सो you understand this XX XY, but now we will discuss some very important things, okay, very important things which is not mentioned in the slides in details about this. Just a moment. Okay, so can anyone tell me one thing, that why chromosome, why X and Y gives the male and XX give the female? Can anyone tell me why XY give the male and XX give the female? Do you know anything? Previous knowledge? Anything from previous knowledge? Anyone? Just give me a moment. Anyone tell me anything from previous knowledge? कुछ कुछ याद आ रहा है, कुछ भी क्लास 11 में? Why so? Just wait for some time. I will give you a detailed structure. Okay. Can anyone tell me why so? Yes or no? अगर कुछ नहीं
No idea,
बताओगे
ma'am.
तो क्या? No idea. Okay. See. Okay. Just a minute. I will give you a detailed about why the males and why the females. Okay. This is, okay, just a minute. 1 second. Huh? I'm getting it in a different direction. Okay. So this is a, suppose this is the genital ridge. Okay. Genital ridge. Genital ridge is a type of tissue. Okay. Type of part during the three germ layer, means during gastrula, जब gastrula रहते हैं तब genital ridge नाम के एक portion रहते हैं. ठीक है? Okay, understood. After that, there is a factor. There is a factor which is responsible. Okay, no need to remember all everything. Okay, no need to remember everything. Just for your entrance level, I'm saying. But ये entrance में भी नहीं आता इतना बड़ा concept. But फिर भी ऐसे ही मतलब so that मैं मतलब I don't want to go like silent that कोई भी factor ऐसे बोल के. So SF1 is a factor which is responsible, okay, to form it into primordial. Just a moment. Primordial germ cell. तो primordial germ cell formation कर लिया, ठीक है. Primordial germ cell formation कर लिया, ठीक है, हो गया. उसके बाद देखो कि यहाँ पे और एक फैक्टर आते हैं WNT4. सो WNT4 जो है वो ओवेरी को इंड्यूस करते हैं दैट ओवेरी तुम अभी फॉलिकल सेल एंड थेका सेल बनाओ. थेका, ओके, सॉरी, थेका. तो फॉलिक्यूलर सेल्स एंड थेका सेल जो है ये अल्टीमेटली फॉलिकल्स, ग्राफिन फॉलिकल्स, ये सब बना के finally estrogen will be secreted from the follicles, okay, and the estrogen is responsible for female जो internal genital part है वो सब फॉर्मेशन करेगा, ठीक है. ये फीमेल के बाद हो गया. मेल में क्या होगा देखो. मेल में जो, अच्छा, बिफोर दैट लेट मी टेल यू दिस, ये जो प्रीमोर्डियल जार्म है it has a it is bipotential gonad. What I say? Bipotential gonad. Okay. Bipotential gonad मतलब क्या कि it has both the potential, both it can be a male, it can be a female, it has both the potential, ठीक है. तो उसमें अगर WNT4 आ गया then ये ovary आ गया and so on. Okay. So this is a different story. No need to remember this. In case of males, you see, ये जो primordial germ cell है, उसमें SRY जीन, SRY जीन कहाँ रहते हैं पता है? अगर इसमें, अगर जो हमारे जाइगोट है, जाइगोट में अगर X and Y क्रोमोसोम प्रेजेंट है, तो Y क्रोमोसोम का जो शॉर्ट आर्म है, इसमें एक जीन रहते हैं जिसको बोलते हैं SRY जीन. ओके, ये जो SRY जीन है एज इट इज प्रेजेंट, देखो अभी तक गोनाड फॉर्मेशन नहीं हुआ, बट हमारे तो क्रोमोसोम्स आ गया ना, क्योंकि फर्टिलाइजेशन के टाइम पे न्यूक्लियस फ्यूज होते हैं, मेल एंड फीमेल। तो मेल एंड फीमेल अगर फ्यूज हो रहा है न्यूक्लियस, तो क्रोमोसोम्स भी तो हो गया ना फ्यूज। अंडरस्टूड। तो एक्स एंड वाई क्रोमोसोम तो आ गया, न्यूक्लियस में तो है, तो वाई क्रोमोसोम में तो SRY जीन प्रेजेंट है। तो अगर अगर वाई क्रोमोसोम इज प्रेजेंट and in the Y chromosome the SRY gene is there, obviously the SRY gene is present, that is SRY gene is present in the uh, Y chromosome. It will induces this bipotential gonads, okay, along with another factor that is called SOX9 to form testes. कि बाइपोटेंशियल को बोलते हैं कि देखो भाई, मैं SRI हूँ, अभी तुम वहां पे ओवेरी मत बनाओ, अभी तुमको टेस्टिस ही बनाना है क्योंकि मैं प्रेजेंट हूँ। पर अगर SRY प्रेजेंट नहीं है, अगर ये XX है, तो इसमें तो Y क्रोमोसोम नहीं है। अगर Y क्रोमोसोम नहीं है, तो जीन में SRY जीन भी नहीं है। अगर जीन में SRY जीन नहीं है, तो ये अपना काम करते रहेगा विद द हेल्प ऑफ WNT4 एंड ऑल। पर अगर SRY जीन आ गया तो क्या बोलेगा कि देखो भाई, अभी हम तो है, तो अभी तुमको तो टेस्टिस बनाना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, तो टेस्टिस प्रिमोर्डियल जर्म सेल जिसका बाइपोटेंशियल है, दे कैन बी एबल टू गिव बोथ, बट it forms the testis because of the presence of SRY. The testes, from the testes, Sertoli cell is present and Leydig cell is present. Okay, Leydig cell. Okay, ये जो Sertoli cell है, फिर से Sertoli cells को जो SF1 जो पहले वाला था, SF1 ये इंड्यूस करते हैं कि देखो भाई, तुम अभी एंटी मुलेरियन हार्मोन रिलीज करो। एंटी मुलेरियन हार्मोन मतलब जो क्या करेगा, जो मुलेरियन जो डक्ट है, मुलेरियन डक्ट है, उसको रिप्रेस करेगा। मुलेरियन डक्ट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम। तो मुलेरियन डक्ट को रिप्रेस करेगा, कौन करेगा? Sertoli cells with the help of SF1, it will secrete the anti-Mullerian hormone जो मुलेरियन डक्ट को रिग्रेस करेगा, फॉर्मेशन होने नहीं देगा, रिग्रेशन ऑफ Mullerian duct. Whereas the Leydig cells, if you put SF1, it will form testosterone. Now, what is the function of testosterone? Testosterone will form the mesonephric duct, which is also known as Olffian duct. Olffian duct is with male. This is an important question. Olffian duct जो है ये मेल के लिए है, ठीक है, एंड जो मुलेरियन डक्ट है ये फीमेल के लिए है. So the Olffian duct become alive. Okay, so by this pathway the entire things has been done. So I repeat once more. Genital ridges is a part which is present when, just a minute, which is present during the tree germ cells. जब gastrula formation हुआ था, gastrula में tree germ layer present है, तो तभी genital ridges है. उसको SF1 इंड्यूस करते हैं, ओके, एंड क्या बनाते हैं? प्रिमोर्डियल गोनाड्स, दैट इज अ बाइपोटेंशियल गोनाड, कि ये ओवरी भी बन सकता है और टेस्टिस भी बन सकता है, कुछ भी बन सकता है, बाय, ओके. तो बाइपोटेंशियल, आई हैव बोथ द पोटेंशियल, तो बाइपोटेंशियल. पर अगर इसमें जो क्रोमोसोम है, अगर क्रोमोसोम में वाई क्रोमोसोम है, सेल न्यूक्लियस में अगर वाई क्रोमोसोम है, तो वी नो दैट क्रोमोसोम, वाई क्रोमोसोम के शॉर्ट आर्म जो है, शॉर्ट आर्म, उसमें एक जीन है, उस जीन को क्या बोलते हैं? SRY जीन. तो SRY जीन with the help of SOX9 will tell that primordial germ cell की that भाई देखो, अभी तो मुझे पता है कि तुम ओवेरी भी बन सकते हो, मुझे पता है, पर अभी तो मैं प्रेजेंट हूँ, तो तुमको तो टेस्टिस ही बनाना पड़ेगा, तो टेस्टिस बना दो. तो टेस्टिस बना दिया. Primordial germ cell is differentiated into from testis. The testes then differentiated into Sertoli cells and Leydig cells. I mean not differentiated. Testes have these two types of cells, Sertoli cells and Leydig cells. We know that. Leydig cells secrete testosterone और Sertoli cells nourishment करते हैं sperms को, right? But जो Sertoli cells है उसमें अगर फिर से एक फैक्टर उसको इंड्यूस करते हैं, दैट इज द SF1, जो उसको किस लिए इंड्यूस कर रहा है कि सेरोटोनिन सेल्स अभी तुम न्यूट्रिशन के बाद में सोचना, अभी पहले एंटी मुलेरियन हार्मोन सिक्रीट करो, अदरवाइज क्या होगा, ओवेरी डक्ट जो ओवेरियन कुछ फैलोपियन ट्यूब कुछ कुछ भी मतलब ओवेरी का यूटेरस ये सब मतलब डक्ट कुछ फॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा, तो हमें तो नहीं चाहिए, अभी हम तो मेल बनेगा, तो अभी तुम एंटी मुलेरियन हार्मोन सिक्रीट करो फटाफट, तुम न्यूट्रिशन के बारे में बाद में देखना, अभी ये सिक्रीट करो. एंटी मुलेरियन हार्मोन सिक्रेट कर दिया, तो इसने क्या किया कि ये मुलेरियन डक्ट को रिग्रेस कर दिया. एंड मुलेरियन डक्ट इज अ डक्ट व्हिच इज रिलेटेड टू द फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. ओके, देन you see in case of the testes, the Leydig cells with the help of SF1, it forms the testosterone, and testosterone is going to produce or going to make the mesonephric duct or the Olffian duct active or the alive. And the Olffian duct is a duct which is associated with the associated with what? Associated with the male reproductive system. Okay. No mesonephric duct means no testosterone. So testosterone has to be active. Okay. So or the no testosterone, no mesonephric duct. Leydig cell produce testosterone which activates the mesonephric duct to grow. Okay. If I say that there is no mesonephric duct, there is no Olffian duct, it means that there should not be any testosterone because testosterone is going to induce the mesonephric duct. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, I'm asking about everyone. Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So this is why the Y chromosome is responsible for sex determination in case of us, that is human. But if I say in case of Drosophila, I told you when I was talking about जब मैंने पहले रिगार्डिंग जब मॉर्गन के बारे में बता रही थी, तब मैंने बोला था कि यस दे आर सेम, ह्यूमन एंड जो ड्रोसोफिला है वो XXXY ही है, बट देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. ओके, इन अ माइनर डिफरेंस आई टोल्ड. Actually, in case of, always remember, in case of Drosophila, Y chromosome does not have any rule in sex determination. What I said, repeat with me. Y chromosome in Drosophila has no role in sex determination. Y chromosome in Drosophila has no role in sex determination. Then how the sex is determined? The sex is determined with the help of the number of X chromosomes and the number of autosomes and the ratio between them. Okay, I repeat, Y chromosome is not responsible for sex determination in Drosophila. It is present, but it is present not for sex determination. Okay. Secondly, the how the sex is determined then? The sex is determined with the help of number of X chromosomes and the number of autosomes and the ratio between them. Number of X chromosomes and the number of autosomes and the ratio between them will determine whether it will be a male, whether it will be a female, not the Y chromosome. Now I will show you how. Okay. Okay, now I will show you how you make a, first of all, you write, I'll dictate, you write in Drosophila, sex determination is achieved by a balance of female determinants on the X chromosome, female determinants on the X chromosome, and male determinants on the autosomes, and the male determinants on the autosome. Full stop. Y chromosome is not involved in determining the sex. In determining sex. Full stop. Then what is the function of Y chromosome? Why it is present? It should be XX and XO, right? Why you write down? It determines fertility. It determines fertility. It determines fertility. Y chromosome is not involved in determination of sex, but it determines fertility. That this Drosophila is fertile. Okay, that it determines this one. Okay, now you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. You make 4 columns. Okay, you make 4 columns. Everyone turn on your video. I cannot see your face. Everyone turn on your video so that I can see. There should be an interactive class now. Everyone turn on your video. What happened? I'm asking you something. Yes, Arpan, very good. There should be interaction. It should not be. Yes, very good. Hobo omlan suli nalarile hobo. Ene dhuniya tumi. What about others? Okay. Tuhin is always in the gym t-shirt. Gym man. Ita hai bhal lagise. Now it's great. And what about girls? Girls are shy. Or what? What about girls? The boys are so cool. Boys are very good. Okay. You make 4 columns. Everyone make the 4 columns. 4 columns. You make 4 columns. Okay. First column, you write down X chromosome. First column, you write down X chromosome. In the second column, you write down autosomes. Second column, you write down autosomes. Okay. Then third column, you write down X is to A ratio. X is to A ratio. X is to A ratio. And the last column, you write down sex. Okay, you write down sex. Okay. You see here. Then you have to divide by X by A. Okay, you have to divide it X by A. Okay, now I will tell you. If the X by A ratio is 1, okay, you have to fulfill all the columns I'll give you. If the X by A ratio is 1, then it will be a female. Okay, more than 1 will be meta female. Okay, if it is 0.5, then it will be a male. Okay, then if it is like in between 1 and 0.5, less than 1, more than 0.5, suppose 0.6, okay, then it will be your intersex. Okay, and if it is less than 0.5, it will be meta male. So 1 normal female, more than 1 meta female, 0.5 normal male, In between 1 and 0.5 is your intersex. Less than 0.5 is metamel. Okay. Okay. Now you have to fill. You have to fill. First in X chromosome. First in X chromosome. In X chromosome, you write down serially. Serially, you write down. Okay. 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. I repeat, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Autosome set you write down 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, again 3, 2, 3. I repeat, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. It means that number of X chromosome in the first column is 3. Number of autosome is 2. What will be the X by A ratio? Use calculator, no problem. What will be the X by A ratio? That will be 3 by 2. What is the answer? 1.5. Okay. So if it is 1.5, what will be this? More than 1, meta-female, right? So you write in the sex, meta-female. Okay. Next you see, number of X chromosome is 4. Number of autosome is 3. What will be X by ratio? That is 4 by 3. Right? What will be 4 by 3? You calculate what will be 4 by 3. What is 4 by 3? Tell me.
Near 1.5.
4 by 3. 4 by 3. 1.3. 1.3. 1.3. If it is 1.3, what will be this? More than 1?
Intersex. The meta-female.
Meta-female. More than 1, meta-female. Write down in the sex, meta-female. Okay. Next is X chromosome is 4, Y autosome is 4. Means X by A ratio 4 by 4. What? 1. Right? If it is 1, then it will be what?
Female.
Normal female. Yes, very good. Normal female. Write down normal female. Next, X chromosome is 3. Autosome is also 3. What will be this? 1. It will be also normal female. Okay. Then 2. X is 2. Autosome is also 2. So 2 by 2, 1. That will be also normal female. Now X chromosome is 2. Y autosome is 3. Okay. X by A will be 2 by 3. Iman, 2 by 3. You do 2 by 3.
0.6.
0.6. So if it is in less than 1 and more than 0.5, it will be intersex. You write down intersex. Okay. Next is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 will be X by A ratio 1 by 2. 1 by 2 will be 0.5, half, right? If it is half, then what will be the sex?
Male.
Male, normal male. Very good. Write down normal male. Okay. Then X by A, again you see 1 by 3. What will be this one calculation? 0.33. 1 by 3 will be 0.33. So 0.33 means less than 0.5. So what will be the sex? Meta male.
Meta-male.
Meta-male. Very good. So you see in this way in Drosophila, the sex determination is done with the help of X by A ratio. There is no use of any Y chromosome. Understood? Understood?
Excellent.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So today we are going to stop this session today. and I will also do your Sunday class very soon in this week. Okay, then we will complete the size determination and we will start mutation. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you
ma'am.
so much. Have a great day.
you, ma'am.
Al lagil dekhi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.